Hi folks, this is All the Fruit, and today is my friend Robert's birthday party here on a beautiful camping ground in Germany. And yeah, since they know that I'm kind of into fruits, they said, yeah, just bring a couple fruits. How much is a couple? 2 fruits? Well, so I decided to go on a shopping spree in German supermarkets and bring a couple fruits. I didn't have time to go to places like Mannheim, or even in my town of Heidelberg I could find in a lot of ethnic shops a lot of rare fruits. So I just went to the mainstream supermarkets to show you what mainstream German supermarkets have at the start of quite a cold May. Well, I'm pretty sure there will be nothing here from Germany, not even one single thing. Yeah, nowadays we are used to have fresh fruit and veg for 12 months a year, but there is a lot of import-export and a great logistical operation going on to provide hundreds of millions, even billions of people who live in areas where there are no fruits, where there is no fruit production for months. They can still get fresh fruits. So let's see what we got here. There will be nothing rare, but it's the standard stuff you will find now. And I noticed the supermarkets don't really have rare things right now. It's the end of the season, which is poor in fruits, so they see it as their job to provide the standard fruits, cheap enough, in enough quantity, enough quality, so nothing really fancy. Let's start with the oranges. Those are actually on the fancy side because they are so big. I think they are Valencia oranges. I still haven't opened one of them. They are probably somewhere from South America, or they could be from the Mediterranean, maybe even from Spain, maybe even from Valencia, although they have a lot of droughts there. The next citrus fruit here is a mandarin from Spain. Right now, May is the end of the citrus season in the Mediterranean, and it was a very droughty citrus season for the important production areas in Spain, but they still have a lot of them. I saw like half of the citrus plantations were abandoned. The trees were surviving and were producing a lot of fruits, but small dry fruits which you cannot really sell. Very sad. Oh, and now the video is shaking. Those peppers, I threw away the box, but I guess they are also from Spain. They are more the style which is typical in southeastern Europe, like Bulgaria, Hungary, also Turkey and so on. But here strangely enough, here in Germany, all those logistic chains, they still mostly go to Spain and then often to France and Italy and then outside of Europe. We don't really have a lot of things from Bulgaria, from Hungary, from Greece, from Romania, although they are EU states with quite a big fruit and veg production. Well, mostly in summer because the winters are too cold there. I didn't check where the eggplants are from, but there is a good chance they are from Spain. It's a good chance that the eggplants and the peppers and the tomatoes, actually, where are the tomatoes from? The tomatoes are from the Netherlands, but there is a good chance that the eggplants and the peppers both come from the Costa del Plástico or the Campo de Níjar in Spain. Those are desert areas in Spain where, yeah, the bulk of European fruit and the bulk of European veggie production is located in winter. Here is one of those modern, big, fancy passion fruit varieties. Also not from Germany. The only one I've seen fruiting here is Cerulea, and also Incarnata is supposed to fruit here. This is an Edulis. The melon, unfortunately, half of the label is gone. That probably, well, could be from Spain already, from a greenhouse. Most of those veggies and annual fruit plants are grown in greenhouses because it reduces the sun in summer, it reduces the wind, which dries out and destroys the plants. It reduces the cold in winter, so most of the stuff is being done in greenhouses. So probably this is also from Spain or maybe even from Morocco. I don't know where the red pear is from. There is a small chance it's still from last harvest somewhere in temperate Europe, but it could also be somewhere from the southern hemisphere. Here I got the pear, which is one of the varieties which are commonly grafted on quince. Somebody asked me if you can, and yeah, during transporting this box, a couple of them suffered. Somebody asked me if you can graft quince on pears and stuff on that. Usually you graft queers on pins. And yeah, around me the party is already going on with lots of little kids. So this is one of those pears which are commonly grafted on quince, which is supposed to give them more resilience and also a stronger flavor. Those are the tomatoes I buy here throughout the year for salads and other things where taste is important. The mini Roma Rispen tomaten. They are kind of pricey in the upper middle segment for tomatoes, but they guarantee you a good flavor and taste throughout the year. I shouldn't do ads for big German supermarkets. Then we have a pomegranate, probably from somewhere around the Mediterranean, Middle East or so. I didn't check from where. The Fusales from Colombia. I mean, it is a South American plant, but usually it comes more from the Andes Mountains. Colombia, well, they have a part of the Andes Mountains. It's a fruit which is quite conducive to transport and storage for a quite extended time. So yeah, it's being traded a lot around the world. The same goes for blueberries. Those are North American blueberry hybrids, but nowadays they are grown a lot in tropical and subtropical areas. Peru has actually become the biggest exporter. Let's see where those are from. Spain. Yeah, already Spain and Morocco are taking over the season, but throughout the winter it was mostly Peru. And it's interesting, I'm buying blueberries almost every day. 15-20 years ago they were more of a niche fruit, but now they are a totally mainstream fruit, and even the prices are acceptable. Not as cheap as apples or apricots and other things, but acceptable. Also, I put the one bread here because don't forget, grains are also fruits, well, the seeds of fruits, so it totally has its place here. Where do the sugar 19 grapes come from? From South Africa. We have nowadays a big commercial production of grapes in tropical places like India and Brazil. But right now, well, we have May here. That would correspond to November on the other side of the globe. So South Africa, yeah, the grape harvest is still going on. Probably not for long. Soon the equatorial areas will take over as importers. But the funny thing is, Germany nowadays has really good grapes for 12 months a year coming from throughout the world. 20 years ago you could find grapes in winter, but they were tasteless and super expensive. Now they are priced reasonably and the taste is really good, especially those sugar 19. I like them. I'm not so good about the pineapple. I basically stopped buying pineapples in Europe because if you can have them in the tropics, you know, our bananas are the same quality as in the tropics. They come from the tropics, but they're the same quality. Oranges also. Pomegranates, passion fruit, you can bring them here in good quality. With the pineapples, either you cannot do it or they don't do it. I've very rarely had a pineapple in Germany which was worth eating. I don't think that this is worth eating because they had like 100 in the shop and I couldn't smell any pineapple smell, but I bought it more for the looks. Strawberries, where are they from? Probably, yeah, from Spain. So the Spanish greenhouses are spitting out strawberries right now in huge amounts. And the Germans don't like them so much, but they buy them because they arrive like much earlier than the German ones. An Asian nashi pear. This is probably still somewhere from East Asia, most of them. We have even a production in Germany, but still a lot of them are imported from the East. Nectarines, oh, from Spain. I'm really surprised that they already ripe nectarines. Oh, that's a nice doll. Du hast aber eine schöne Puppe. Yeah, the little kids are wondering what I'm doing here. I have to go play with them. Well, I want to go play with them, but first I have to play with you. So yeah, it's the start of May, and the winter and the spring were quite cold also in Spain. I was in Spain until a couple days ago. It was quite cold. I'm surprised they already have nectarines. Where do the blackberries come from? I actually never buy blackberries, but okay. This time I did it. Also Spain. Yeah, as I said, in winter Spain is our big fruit and veg producer in Europe. 10 years ago it was even more extreme. Nowadays, because of this crazy droughts in Spain and because of high labor costs, it has kind of started to diverge. Like, yeah, Italy, Greece, even southern France are producing things out of season, and we import a lot more from Morocco and from overseas areas like India, Brazil, Peru, Colombia. But Spain is still the big elephant in the room. If there is a drought in Spain or a cold winter in Spain, fruit and veg in Europe become unaffordable. Well, here I have some apples. Bestes aus der Region. So this is the only thing produced locally, some apples. Because you can store apples in cold storage for many months without losing a lot of quality. Yeah, basically if we relied on fresh fruits from Germany, until May or so we would only have apples for several months. Okay, no idea where this red pear comes from. I got a couple limes. Where are they from? From Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam also has become kind of a notable producer and exporter of stuff to here. I put the mushrooms here because, remember, this is not the whole mushroom organism. The mushroom is not a plant, but basically the mushroom is a big underground organism, and those things you eat, they correspond to the fruits of the plants. So you're not eating the whole mushroom, you are eating them, with the lack of better word, fruits. Cucumbers. Where do they? Oh, they come from Germany. Well, they must be from a heated greenhouse, because I don't think without heating you can produce them. Nuremberg. They're from Bavaria. Bavaria is like the coldest area of Germany. Okay, Nuremberg is quite mild for Bavarian standards, but still much colder than here. Those must be from a heated greenhouse. Yeah, in winter usually Germans are not really competitive with those greenhouses. Neither are the Dutch, but the Dutch are actually still producing and exporting greenhouse stuff. Like before Spain became so big in the 20th century, the Dutch were the big greenhouse producers in Europe and in the world. They still are, but Spain has totally beaten them. But yet the Dutch have a lot of export of greenhouse stuff, and even Germany seems to be producing in heated greenhouses. Oh well. Chocolate, don't forget, this is also being made from a fruit. We're gonna use it to stuff the bananas and barbecue them, but chocolate is made from coca, which is also a fruit. Also, if you look at the Italian antipasti, here we have different peppers and one olive, of course also all fruits. And here when you're looking at those snacks, we have, oh, there is music, I hope I'm not gonna get demonetized for that. Chickpeas, fried chickpeas, corn, and probably lupine. And here we have tiger nuts, which are actually not a fruit, but a tuber on a grass, which is a big wheat, but also quite a nice agricultural product.